Greetings from chess.com. I am Niranjan and I'm here to do a very special video featuring the exciting chess moves played by Yuzvendra Chahal. You might have seen him hit a 6 or a boundary, you might have also seen him pick a lot of wickets on the field, but today you will be seeing some of the exciting moves played by him. He plays on chess.com and we are very happy that he does it consistently, and I thought it's a great idea to pick up some exciting moments from his games and also use that as an experience to train. I have picked up some moments in which I will ask you to pause, and you can then consider the position and see if you could match moves with the Indian superstar. So the first position I have is his game which he played against an 1800 on chess.com, and he is black here. And in this position, after queen b7, his opponent took rook takes c8, and after rook takes c8, his opponent played knight takes e4. Now before you begin your tactical test, I would like to give you one tip. In order to spot the tactical moves, do consider four things. See if there are any good checks in the position, see if there are any captures, and see if there are any threats, and then lastly consider if there are any pawn breaks. So CCTP is something you could remember. And in addition to this, I would suggest that you also consider the drawback of your opponent's last move. So in this position, knight takes e4 is a mistake because it has a drawback. Now it's up to you to figure out the solution. It's black to move. I'm about to reveal the answer now. Here, Yuzvendra Chahal played queen takes e4, taking advantage of the fact that the white king on g1 doesn't have a flight square. So rook takes e4 is met by the traditional puzzle rush puzzle with rook takes e1 back rank mate. So in the game after knight takes e4, he picked queen takes e4, his opponent played b5, but then he played queen d5 and then he was piece up and then went on to win this game. Let's go to the next position. You might see a lot of black queens from Yuzvendra Chahal. Here his opponent has just played knight to f1, and again this is the last move and this is his game against the 1500. See if you can use CCTP and come up with a solution. In chess, a tactical shot could be compared to a sixer or a boundary, so something like that. So you can consider, making your shot here. Alright, the correct answer is rook e1 check, and after rook takes e1, there is queen takes e1. But the story doesn't end here. You must consider queen f1 and a response against it. So here is a traditional decoy where you lure the opponent's king to a bad square so that you win the queen. So you play rook h1 check, and after king takes h1, there is queen takes f1, winning the game. Let's move on to the next position. This is the position in which again Yuzvendra Chahal is black and his opponent is around 1700. Here he played bishop takes e5, and after d takes e5, he played queen f7. Black is doing fine in this position, but this is the moment in which he went wrong. He played queen to g4, giving away something. Alright, see if there are any checks, captures, threats or pawn breaks, and I'm going to reveal the answer now. The move is knight takes e5 because f takes e5 is not possible, which his opponent played. His opponent had to move the queen, but after f takes e5, I hope you see mate in 2. Again, the theme is back rank mate. So this shows that Yuzvendra Chahal is very good with his basics. He knows how to exploit a back rank weakness. Now in this position here, it's black to move, and he found a checkmate. So you can also pause and see if you can win with the black pieces. And here his opponent is around 1600. And here Yuzvendra Chahal played queen takes e5 check. The king has to go to g2, and then he found rook takes g4. This is the sacrifice. And after rook takes g4, h takes g4, he played queen h2 check, and after king f1, it's checkmate in 1. Black can either play queen e2 or just play queen takes g1. In this game, he played queen takes g1 and won the game. Next position, we have a very complicated one, and his opponent is around 1700 here, and his opponent is actually winning, but he played knight g5 check, still very much winning. And after king f6, his opponent played bishop h7. And then here Yuzibhai played c2 check, and after king c1, he found the only way to survive in the position. So I would say this position is slightly difficult when compared to the other positions, but it's remarkable that he found the only way. It's black to move. If you go by CCTP, you will definitely get the answer when you come to threats. And when I talk about threats, I mean mating threats or attack on other pieces. So in this position, Yuzvendra Chahal played Queen A5, threatening a mate in 1. And White has to play Knight E4 check here. And after King E7, play Bishop D2. This knight protecting the bishop is vital. And the game goes on with Queen takes D5. But in the game, his opponent played Bishop D2. And with this, he got his chance to win the game. I hope you see why Knight E4 was important. Black has Queen takes D2 check, and after King takes D2, he promotes the C2 pawn to a queen. And then after King E2, there is Rook C2 check, and then Queen F4 check, and then the mate follows in the next move. Here, he played Rook takes F2, and then mate on G2. I think that was a very nice move. Alright, next position we have again Yuzvendra Chahal playing black, and his opponent has just played Rook G3, and here after Rook D1 check, Rook takes D1, Queen takes D1. White should have played Queen F1, no doubt Black is a piece up, but after King F2, here is a very simple puzzle for you guys. Why is King F2 a blunder? I hope you see that Rook F8 is the answer. This move also prevents mate and pins the queen and wins it. Next position. Here again Yuzvendra Chahal is black, his opponent is around 1700, and after Bishop E5, Rook B1, he plays Queen G6. So you see he sets a threat. The threat is Bishop takes H3, and his opponent played King H1, and here he's very persistent with the idea of hitting on H3, so he plays Queen H6 intending to sacrifice with Bishop takes H3. And here White had to play F4 to survive, but he did not. He played Knight E2, and then the move is obvious now, Bishop takes H3, and after G takes H3 there is mate in 2, and that's how he won the game. Alright, next position. Here he was black, and his opponent has just played pawn to F4. Your task is just to spot the quickest way for black to win. It's a cute little tactic based on the pin. He plays Rook takes G2, and the idea is if Rook takes G2 happens, there is a back rank mate again. So that's how he won. After Rook on G2, it's a winning position. His opponent played Bishop C4, but he just took Rook C4. He took the bishop and also picked up the knight. That was very clean. Alright, next position. His opponent has just played Bishop to E3, and I want you to figure out what you would do as black. Again, exploiting the drawback of the last move, Bishop E3 is a mistake because black has D4. It's a threat attacking the bishop, and the bishop then attacks the rook as well. And with that, he wins material, and then he went on to win the game. After Bishop F2, he just took this and then put his rook to the 7th rank. Very, very nice position. Here, it's black to move again. His opponent has just played pawn to F4. Take your time to see what you would do as black. And yeah, if you found Bishop G4, congrats, that's the move. And that's also exploiting the drawback, because if the pawn were on F2, White could have had a chance to play F3, but in this case that's not even possible, and White loses the exchange. So after he picked up the exchange, he went on to win the game. Alright, next position. Here his opponent has just played Knight H4, and here is when the Chahal played Knight E4, attacking the knight, and his opponent played F3. So actually Knight E4 was not the best move because White had Queen H5 check, but his opponent missed. His opponent around 1600, and he played F3, and now it's your chance to figure out. In one of the video series I told that one of the ways to win a lot of games is to spot your opponent's unprotected pieces, and here is one example. Queen takes H4 is hanging, and after G3 it's again very important to play Knight G3, and it's winning because at G3 you then take up the rook, and then he went on to checkmate. So after King E2, here's a little puzzle for you. Can you find a way to checkmate in just 2 moves? Yes, the answer is Queen check and Bishop takes G3. That's checkmate. Alright, one last position from the black side. Again, he's playing against a player who is around 1750, and it's black to move. His opponent has just picked up the pawn on A5, which is a blunder. White is having a good position here, but taking the pawn on A5 has drawbacks. And as I always say, keep an eye on opponent's unprotected pieces. They will always give you some kind of a clue to know what to play next. And considering the hanging rook on B8, I'm sure you have found the right move. In this position, both Queen C1 and Queen F1 are correct. and then you pick up the pawn on f4, and then you pick up the rook on the next move. Alright, now let's see some of the wins by Yuzvendra Chahal with the white side. So let's flip the board. This is the position. The first tactic is done for you. Knight takes b5, and after queen b6, played knight d4, and after knight c6, bishop c6, he set a small trap. He played h3. And in this position, when you're winning, it's important to exchange pieces so that you go closer to a winning position. Here his opponent played knight takes e3. Now no, his idea was not to take this knight, but to play bishop takes h7 check. And after king takes h7, he plays bishop takes e3. And now you see that this king is slightly exposed on the king side. So then he made use of this. After queen b7, he played bishop c5. But in this position, his opponent missed the fact that he's attacking the rook. First he played bishop d5, and he thought that this would be enough to counter an attack with a counter attack, but white has queen d3 check. And after bishop e4, queen e2, he could have played on, but his opponent played king g8, giving away the exchange. He won that exchange, and then in few moves, he was able to checkmate his opponent with queen takes g7. Alright, next position, here Yuzvendra Chahal has just played knight e5, and his opponent played f6. Picking the lessons from one of our previous positions, I'm sure you now know the answer. The move is queen h5 check, and after g6 you just pick up knight takes g6, and then queen takes h8. So that's how he won this game. Next game again, his opponent has just played queen to d7, and Yuzi Bhai has correctly figured out the drawback of that move. In this position, the queen was protecting the bishop, the rook was also protecting the bishop, but after queen d7, only the rook is protecting it. But you see, the rook is also guarding f8 square in addition to supporting the bishop. And since the rook is overloaded, he came up with a stellar sacrifice, queen takes e5. This move also attacks the rook on g3. And in this position, if you had played rook takes e3, also there is queen takes e3. So you cannot take rook takes e3 because of a checkmate. So in this game, after queen takes e5, there was rook takes h3, and then queen h2, and then it was just winning. Just ended the game with a queen sacrifice. After queen f8, rook takes f8. His opponent resigned here, but rook takes f8 is bet by rook takes f8. Here his opponent was around 1700, and in this position it's again white to move. I really like the move g4. Of course, there are many ways to win, but I'm showing this game for the final position. After g4, knight f4 takes knight g5. e6, I like the move that he chose here. It's white to play and checkmate in just 2 moves. You can see that he's very good at spotting these small tactics, and you can also train this by going to chess.com/puzzles, and under custom training you can tick mark the mate into puzzles and solve a lot of them to get better. Alright, in this position white has knight f5 check, and after king g8 there is a mate on h7, and if black takes the knight also there is a mate on h7. Alright, in this position it is white to move. Here Yuzi Bhai is playing g4, and after b4 he goes g5, and after knight d7 he goes full-fledged attack mode with queen h5. Yeah, his opponent played g6, and he took knight takes g6, and in this position after fg6, bishop g6, black should not have taken the bishop. He should have protected the h7 pawn with the knight, but in that flow his opponent just took h takes g6, and now is your task. How will you finish off the game? The next move is obvious, but I want you to also think of the next move. So after queen takes g6 check, king h8, there is a theme in chess called the rook lift, and that ends the game in white's favor. Rook h3 is a dangerous threat, and after rook f3 his opponent played knight f6. And after g takes f6, rook g8, for a moment it seems like the queen is lost, but white has rook h3 check and mate. The rook does the job and wins the game for white. Alright, next position here Yuzvendra Chahal is white, and he's just played a rook takes f7. My question to you is simple. What happens if black takes the rook back? Why is he giving the rook? Alright, I'm about to reveal the answer. The move is bishop takes g6. This is the point. Now the rook is not possible to defend. Knight d6 is not coming because we have a pawn on e5, and after knight d7 he picked up the rook, and then he just played another powerful move, and then also won. His opponent gave up the rook also, and then he won the game. On to the last position. This is a game in which his opponent has just played queen e8. His opponent is around 1840, and by now Yuzvendra Chahal was already 1900 on chess.com, and it's white to move. Why did he play queen e8? Because he wanted to prevent rook d8 mate. And after queen e8, he found nice way to get that idea. He made use of a tactical theme. Again, he played pawn to f7. Idea is that the bishop is now again keeping an eye on d8, and with the help of this pawn sacrifice, rook d8 checkmate is threatened. So here his opponent played queen f8, and then he played rook d8 and picked up the queen and then won the game. So those were some of the exciting tactical shots that I observed from the games of Yuzvendra Chahal. It's remarkable how he is good at cricket and also at chess. I have a feeling that he also practices tactics a lot, because whenever there is a possibility, he is able to see it and execute it. So I would also suggest all of you to practice tactics every day. Like I always mention, tactics every day keeps mistakes at bay. And with that, I would like to end this video. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it and also had a nice experience solving those positions. Do subscribe to our channel. I'll be back with another video soon. Until then, take care, and don't forget to let me know how many of these positions you got it right. Like there were 19 positions, so let me know in the comments how many you got right. Alright then, bye bye.